and the people are power, the people won't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, and the power of the people won't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, and the power of the people won't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, and the power of the people won't stop. Thank you. My name is Judy Thoreau. I am a member of Indivisible Onondaga County, CNY Solidarity, and this event is co-sponsored by Indivisible Onondaga County, Indivisible Salt City, and CNY Solidarity. And there is a lot of people that work very hard to pull this together, and we're very, very happy with this turnout. Very quickly, hey, thank you for coming. Just a short, I'm a facts person. Just for the record, I'm a librarian. Yay! And believe me, librarians these days kick ass.
Yeah.
You know that. So, we're here to commemorate one of the darkest periods of our history, January 6th, the biggest insurrection since the Civil War. Within 36 hours of the event, 5 people had died. More than 2,000 rioters entered the building, many of whom vandalized and looted parts of the building. $2.7 million in damages caused by these attackers. Pipe bombs were found at both the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee headquarters, and Molotov cocktails were discovered in the vehicle near the Capitol. More than 1,200 persons have been charged with federal crimes arising from this attack. Just information about what happened that day. And we are here to say this must never happen again. This must never
Happen again.
This must
Never happen again.
This must
Never happen again.
Thank you. We do have some speakers this morning. Here's Diane Swords.
Hi, I'm not really a speaker. I'm just making an announcement. I am working with people from the Peace Council and Indivisible and any other. We're looking for collaborators on this process to get people together to discuss all the things that are going on in the area around voter registration, campaign work, protecting our democracy, basically. But we want to get really specific on what individuals can do and how we can do it together to have more impact. So we're having a meeting on January 16th, and some of us are going around with a sign-up sheet so that we can inform you of where it's going to be. It will be announced on the Peace Council website, peacecouncil.net. So do sign up, and if you don't sign up, you can still look at the website. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Everywhere we go, people want to know who we are. Everywhere we go,
People want to know who we are.
So we tell them, we are the people.
mighty.
We are the people, the mighty, mighty people, fighting to tell you, here to tell you, fighting for justice, fighting for justice, fighting for our future.
Fighting for our future.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Say that again. Show me what America looks like.
This is what America looks like.
Show me what solidarity looks like.
This is what solidarity looks
like. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Dustin Zarni, our Democratic Commissioner for the Board of Elections.
All right, Dustin.
Give it up to Dustin.
Thank you, Judith. Thank you for organizing this incredible event. You know, it's not normal to have to mark an occasion like this, and the third anniversary of this insurrection. But I think that it's important to remember that the insurrection didn't stop on January 6th. The insurrection didn't start on January 6th. It started with every lie told about our electoral system. Every lie that was told throughout the years about how illegal immigrants voted, or fake ballots were cast, or a host of other things that has, yes, I'll get on. And that continues today. Since January 6th, over 70 bills throughout the country were introduced based on the big lie to suppress the vote in battleground states, in red states, and yes, even here in New York, there's been a few bills introduced. We stopped it in New York. But these bills are becoming law every day. Election officials are being harassed and driven out of the industry. And these things happen ongoing every day. Every time a budget is cut for a board of elections, the insurrection continues. Every time a district is gerrymandered, the insurrection continues. Every time somebody denies their right to vote based on false accusations and way too difficult laws to register and participate in our democracy, the insurrection continues. And there's been a lot of people who have been held accountable, but not the people who planned the insurrection, not the people who led these people to the Capitol and told them to take up physical violence, and it continues today. The former president refuses to sign the Illinois pledge that says that they will not participate in a physical violent insurrection in the future. This is continuing. It is an ongoing threat. And that's why I'm so happy to see all of you here, because we are the bulwark against it. Just like the Capitol Police, yesterday I got to go down to D.C. and I met Sergeant Cullum, who was one of the officers who was seriously injured and forced to retire after the insurrection. He gave his body, he gave his lifestyle up to protect. He was an immigrant that came to America, and I tell you, his words still ring to me today, and I'm so glad I got to meet him in person and shake his hand and thank him for what he did. But I want to thank all of you for what you do, because I know it's easy to stay home. It's cold here in Syracuse right now, but it's easy to forget. The insurrection has been pigeonholed. It's been memory holed by a lot of people. They call it a tourist, it was a tour that has gone out of control. And just seeing the video's there, and the people who want to see it will see it. But seeing that video, we're living this day, I still remember one of the things that I was ashamed of in my life is that I never thought that this could happen. That morning, a few friends of mine were texting me saying, this is going to get out of control, it's going to go crazy. I'm like, no, they're going to have their little speech and they're going to go away. I never thought that this could happen. And when it did, I think it sparked in me, sparked in you, is that we are now going to vow that it can never happen again. And people cannot hold power in political office that are willing to take part in this.
Yes!
Right? But also to turn a blind eye. Because that's just as bad. So we will find a way to come out of this dark time. But it's not going to be tomorrow. We have a long year ahead of us. We have a long decade ahead of us. It's going to take many, many times of battling these people back at the ballot box and making sure that our friends and neighbors can get to the polls and overcome some of the obstacles that are put to them. And I know that all of you will go out there and do it. I know that all of you will hold people accountable. And we have to ask our friends and neighbors to do so as well.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for coming out. And just remember, It'll get darker before the dawn will come. But the dawn will come.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dustin. And again, show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what America looks like.
This is what America looks like.
Show me what solidarity looks like.
This is what solidarity looks like.
Thank you. And now we have quick announcement.
Most of you saw in your email yesterday a reminder about this event. And in your email on Tuesday, you got the best weekly source of progressive political information in Central New York because you signed up for the CNY Solidarity newsletter. If you didn't get it, you're not on the list. We don't share your information. We don't ask for money. Go to cnysolidarity.org and sign up. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. And now, a newly elected legislator, Mr. Maurice Mo Proud.
What an intro, Judy. Thank you so much. I'm a rah-rah guy, so yeah, we gonna get loud. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like, y'all. This is it. This is it. We are here on the anniversary of one of those moments in history. One of those moments where I remember where I was when I looked on the television and saw all of these people storming our Capitol building. I remember exactly where I was. This is that moment, and I'm glad that we're standing up to say no. This is chaos. We have to fight back. This is wrong, and we're going to fight it. Period.
That's right.
But no, Republicans want to write this off as like a boys will be boys moment. No, a crime was committed, an insurrection. They attempted to tear down the Capitol. They literally were trying to overturn our democracy, and we're going to defend it by all means. That's right. I always like to say, because of who I am, I've got to give that perspective. What if the people storming the Capitol were black? What if they looked like me? Even further, what if they were Arab? What would have happened? Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Equality, justice, democracy, equity, the things we care about. I wonder if the Republicans would have said boys will be boys if it was a bunch of moles storming the Capitol. I think not. We've got to fight back. So the way we fight back is through the ballot. We have to change the laws to make it so that people who enable things like that, aren't in positions of power anymore. I'm an elected official now, so I can't be like bullying people. People who enable things like that need to be called out. Period. I'm gonna tell a quick story and I'm gonna go because I know I'm probably over time because I'm just rambling. But in 2020, I got caught flat-footed. So the most of you who know me know that I work on campaigns. I'm very proud. I was on Rachel May's first campaign. Mary Kuhn is in the back. I was on her campaign managed. And I'm very proud of the work that I've done with campaigns because the people I've helped get elected have done great things for this community.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be one of those people. However, I want to talk about one of the people I didn't get elected because I was caught flat-footed in 2020. And she's not here. They're probably doing one out in Cayuga, but her name is Dia Carbajal. Dia Carbajal was brave enough to run for assembly in a very red district. Her district, assembly district, currently represented by John Lamondes, has the town of Skaneateles, has Elbridge, most of Cayuga County, Camillus, and these are red areas. I remember driving down Route 5 during the pandemic, 2020, and just seeing Trump sign, Trump sign, Trump sign, Trump sign. And it was terrifying looking like me because I literally thought if my car broke down right here, I'd don't know if I would make it home. And that was a real thought that I had. Luckily, my car didn't break down. But what I didn't realize, and I learned 2020, the evening on election day, was that Donald Trump turns out his people. They come out to vote for him. They know that the voting is the power, and they show up in mass. I have never been so wrong in Elbridge. I have never been so wrong in Camillus. I've never been so wrong in Cayuga because I underestimated how serious they were about tearing down our democracy. And we can't make that mistake again.
Right.
We can't afford to.
Right.
Full stop. We can't. I won't. You won't. I know Christine won't. I know Judy won't. I know Alex won't. I know Dustin won't. I know Mary Doug won't. Robert won't. We will not make that mistake again. We are going to stand up to the powers that try and take on our democracy. We're going to protect it. And guess what? We're going to win.
Woo!
Judy, thank you. My name is Maurice Brown. I'm an Adams County legislator from
Yes.
the 15th district.
Woo!
Yeah. This election, 2024, this is the election to determine whether we will have election again. Just know that. Thank you. Thanks, Judy.
Well spoken, Mark.
Thanks, Mo. Ain't no power
Like the power of people, because the people won't stop.
Say what?
There ain't no power like the power of people, because the power of the people won't stop.
Say what?
There ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people won't stop.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now we have brief words from Professor of American Democracy. Is that right?
Thank you, Judy, and good afternoon and Happy New Year to all of you. Congratulations, County Legislator Mo Brown. To Mary Kuhn in the back, it is good to see you. I am Dr. Clint Harris. I am an associate professor of history with an emphasis on American democracy. I'm also the inaugural director of Africana Studies. 3 years ago, at Utica University, 3 years ago, when my colleagues and I, as well as the rest of those in this nation and around the world, watched the insubordination take place, we knew that we had to come together, particularly to show what the lessons of history could tell us about the causes and consequences of the insurrection. What we were able to determine is that even though the North won the hot Civil War, it lost the Cultural War. We are still dealing with the South's lost cause. We are still dealing with the demands for an unchecked white patriarchy. We are still dealing with racism, bigotry. We are still dealing with sexism. We are still dealing with the politics of grievance and the politics of hate. We are still dealing with an element that does not seek to grow from the diversity of the nation, but seeks to engage in the continued segregation of the nation.
Yes.
3 years later, we are facing something that American history has not recorded. A single political party that has amassed around a candidate facing 91 charges in 4 different cases. This has never happened in American democracy. And as County Legislator Mo Brown has said, if it had been anyone else, this case would have been solved easily. That we are standing here now, and there are cases going to the Supreme Court to challenge states' ability to be able to use the 14th Amendment to ensure that those that should not be on the ballot should not be on the ballot, that there is a challenge to that, given everything that we are facing right now, should tell all of us that we are in a new moment. However, there is a way around it. It starts with these types of gatherings. It starts with people coming together to recognize that the strength of our democracy is not in your color, it's not in your socioeconomic status, it is not in your geography, it is whether or not you love freedom. I'll say it again because I don't think you understood me. It is not how much money you have, the color of your skin, the gender, your religion. It is not where you live. It is whether or not you love freedom and whether or not you are willing to protect freedom for the generations that shall follow.
Yeah.
I'm going to conclude by saying this. Shortly after the Constitution was signed, Benjamin Franklin made a statement. He said, "We have a republic if we can maintain it." He wasn't talking about the elite, my friends. He was talking about the danger that comes from insurrections from below. That statement could have portended what would happen years later, decades later, the Civil War. It could have portended what would happen after Reconstruction was overthrown. It could have portended what could have happened during the Civil Rights Movement. And quite frankly, it certainly spoke to the election of a president who sought to stay in power by perpetuating the big lie. Yes, we must vote, but we must recognize that the fight for freedom doesn't end with voting. We have to protect librarians who are on the front line. We have to fight for more inclusive curriculums, particularly in K-12. We have to be able to deal with issues that seek to send a signal that says democracy doesn't work. We have to fight the structural foundations of poverty. We have to deal with mass incarceration. We have to be able to bring forth a healthcare system that will allow those who are truly outside to be able to come inside. We have to fight for a comprehensive housing strategy, and quite frankly, we have to also ensure that the most vulnerable of us are still protected. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Everywhere we go, people want to know. Everywhere we go, people want to know who we are. So we tell them we are the people,
The mighty, mighty people.
here to tell you, fighting for justice,
Fighting for justice.
fighting for our future.
Fighting for our future.
Thank you. And now, on the docket here, our newly elected city auditor, Mr. Alex Marion.
Thank you. My name is Alex Marion. I am your brand new Syracuse City Auditor, and I'm so glad to be here with all of you today. So, a couple of years ago, when insurrection happened, we have to be very honest about what that truly was about. That was about fear, instilling fear in the American people, making election workers afraid to go do their jobs every day, making our members of Congress afraid to go do their jobs and certify an election. It was about making postal workers afraid to pick up mail-in ballots. It was about making voters afraid to go make their choice at the ballot every year. And I've lived in Central New York my entire life, and this community knows a little something about fear. We're not afraid of anything. We are not afraid of a little snow coming down today. We are not afraid of a bunch of people who are trying to threaten our democracy, and we are not afraid of a so-called fake billionaire trying to take over our democracy. We are not afraid in this community, and we are not afraid in this country. And the best antidote to all of that fear is making sure we are getting out there. We are being involved. We are fighting for our communities and our democracy. We did that last year. Thanks to many of your help. You got me elected. Thank you. You got Mo Brown elected. You got folks like Emily Essie elected last year. We've got so much hope and so much opportunity here right now that we must build on that. We must build on it this year. And we've got to make sure that we are sending a message to our representatives. We are telling certain people that they should not be beholden to Donald Trump, but work for the people of our community. They should not be lining up to make it harder for people to vote. Take away our resources, take away our reproductive rights. they should be fighting for the people of this community. And that's what we're going to do this year. We're going to fight to make sure that the people who are not working for us are no longer on our community's payroll. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Alex. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what America looks like.
This is what America looks like.
Show me what solidarity looks like.
This is what solidarity looks like.
Thank you. And now, if everyone would just sort of line up here. Oh, wait, Christine.
Thank you. No worries. Go for it.
Christine Wood from Public Citizen.
Thank you all for being here today. Our friends have so eloquently explained why we continue to gather year after year to mark this really somber anniversary. And it's because what happened on January 6th, it did not start on January 6th, but that did not end on January 6th. It started in years in the making, but also specifically with the big lie causing doubt on our elections, casting doubt on things like vote by mail that is trusted, casting doubt on the validity of our election results, casting doubt on our trusted election officials that are just our community members showing up to do the job of seeing out our democracy. And because of this misinformation and campaign of hate, we've seen massive consequences to our democracy since that day. The big lie in the years since has been weaponized to introduce and pass voter suppression bills across the country that disproportionately impact communities of color. They are casting doubt on the validity of our elections that is causing members of the community to receive threats from who serve as election workers. And as a result, we've seen across the country what many are calling a great resignation of election workers. People who are leaving their positions because they're scared to show up and do their jobs because the political climate has become so hostile as a result of these bad actors. So many people up here had talked about the need for accountability for those who are responsible, especially those that are highest at the top, and that is necessary. We need to hold Donald Trump and his allies accountable. But that alone is not enough. We need systemic change because in many states and communities across this country, their votes are being suppressed, and they have, because of partisan gerrymandering, because those in power are extreme, they're not able to fight back.
It happened here in Onondaga County.
Fight back. We need to call in reforms like the Freedom to Vote Act. We need to restore the Voting Rights Act.
That's right.
We need to set these type of mechanisms in place so people's voice can be heard, and so our democracy is fair and truly representative of the American people. So today, I'm so glad to see so many people showing up. It's because of you all that we are able to fight back, and they're able to actually advance policies in Congress that can help shine a light on this voter suppression, on bad actors, and also to protect it and strengthen our democracy. So it's up to us. We need to continue showing out. We need to hold bad actors accountable, and we need to call not just for accountability, but congressional action to pass reforms like the Freedom to Vote Act, like the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, to make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
Get rid of Brandon! Get rid of Brandon is what we need to do.
That's good message.
That's what we need to do.
It's going to be a long time between now and next November. There's going to be other events. Show up. Show up. Show up. Show up. Thank you. And we all know what's going to be happening between now and Christmas of next year. An election. Vote! 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 Vote!
Vote!
Vote!
Vote!
Ain't no power like the power of the people, and the power of the people won't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, and the power of the people won't stop. Say what?
Ain't no power
like the power of the people, and the power of the people won't stop. Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of
Thank you.
Get rid of Brandon! Get rid of Brandon! Get rid of Brandon! That's what we should chant.
Okay, let's chant that.
Out with Brandon!
Out with Brandon! Out with Brandon!
Out with Brandon.
Out with Brandon. Out with Brandon.
Out with Brandon.
Thank you. The best thing, we need to get the message to passers-by. So, line up along here so you're facing out to passers-by and the cars with your sign.
There's the downtown.
Sorry.